right, a huge thought I've been having recently is the idea that I'm running out of time. For full context, I'm 23 years old. I have a full-time job. Graduated uni a year and a half ago, which is already crazy. I want to say that they weren't lying about time flies. I feel like last year literally went by in a blink of an eye, and it sort of scares me to think about like the next blink of an eye, 5 years will go by. But anyways, I'm getting off track already, and we just started the video. But the idea that time is running out, I think that this is something that people in their early 20s feel a lot because I feel this every single day. I feel like time is running out. I feel like I'm not sort of pushing towards where exactly I need to be. And I think a lot of it is due to social media and the perception that there's certain milestones you have to hit at a certain age. You have to be a millionaire by 23, otherwise your life is cooked. That's sort of what it feels like, right? It feels like 23 is the deadline. If you're not a millionaire, if you don't have at least 10 mil in the bank account, just wrap it up, bro. Flip my burger at Wendy's. That's sort of what it feels like. Even though I know it's really unrealistic, it's sort of what I see all the time on social media, and it sort of messes me up internally. But I understand now, obviously, that that's just not reality. Reality is a lot of people in their early 20s are fucking struggling, okay? And I think it's pretty normal to a certain extent. We're also in the worst economy of our lives, so people are struggling out there. And, I just want to make sure that we all understand, whether you're, younger or older, that it's all in your head when it comes to these milestones of hitting certain goals by a certain age. When I was 18, I thought by 21 I was going to be on KSI's level. I was like, oh my god, at 18 years old, KSI was doing this and this. I'm on the same path. I'm going to be like KSI. The fucking delusion on my face that I really believed that, and I never even did anything, and I think that I was entitled to that. I would slap the shit out of myself if I saw myself from when I was 18 years old, because he was a damn idiot, okay? But, you know what they say, if you look back and you can't say that you've grown since then, you haven't grown. So, obviously, I'm just trying to get that point across that, when it feels like you ran out of time, when it feels like things are getting rough, remember that it's not always going to be that case. So you just have to make sure that you don't get caught in that trap. Things like that are very important. I think that everyone should sort of understand that. And yeah, you are not running out of time. Everyone is on their own timeline. The more important thing is to this is the best advice I've gotten, it's just to focus on your own lane and not worry about anyone else's, okay? At the end of the day, everyone is running their own race. They're doing their own thing. And everybody has their own path. You're not going to be able to mimic someone's path. You're not going to be able to rush exactly what it is that what God is planning for you. Things like that. You sort of just have to trust the process and understand that your time is coming sooner than later. But you have to believe that, okay? You need to believe that every single day. Show up every single day. And have that belief that, it'll come eventually. You're not going to know when, but it'll come. And you just keep pushing. I think that's sort of the basic premise of it. Some people get it earlier. Some people get it a lot later in life. But I think it all depends on the cards you're dealt, okay? Regardless of what the situation is, the cards you're dealt play a huge factor. We can't act like it doesn't. But regardless of that, I just want to make sure that, for me importantly, and obviously whoever this helps, I'm not even sure if this helps people, but, the idea of that you're running out of time, it's true in a sense that if you're not doing anything that's pushing towards your goals, your aspirations, your ambitions, you are running out of time. It's true. But if you're doing the things that you need to do, that your future self will thank you for, I think that you are sort of on the right schedule, the right path, on the right timeline overall. So, yeah, don't have those little stupid thoughts in your head that, you need to have this by a certain age. You need to make sure you're growing every single year. You need to make sure you're pushing towards your goals that you will be happy to look back on in the next 5 years, past 5 years, whatever. All right, those are sort of the key factors in that situation. If you don't see that growth in the last year, you're doing something wrong, okay? If you can't look back to last year and say, I've changed so much in the last year, you're not growing. It's simple. And you just wasted time, all right? That's the one time you can look back and think, I just wasted a year of my life. Nothing's changed. I'm the same person I was last year. That's not a good sign, okay? Regardless, you need to make sure you're changing every single year. But yeah, that's sort of what I think about it. And yeah, you're not running out of time unless you're wasting it.